What's going on, everybody? Matt Wacek here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is a video that came highly requested, and it's finally the day that this one's going live, and that is how to start a lead generation SEO business in 2021. I asked a poll here on YouTube on the community tab here and my Facebook group as well, and every single person that answered said yes, and it was one of the most highly engaged posts I've ever made in the Facebook group. So that is what we're doing today. In a second, we're going to hop into my computer. We're going to break down everything step by step, from basically how to set up a business if you're in the United States. If you're outside the United States, you're going to have to go and figure out how to do that, but you're going to need a business officially registered. And by the way, this is not business, financial, certified accounting advice, anything like that. I'm just a guy that's built a business sharing what I know here on YouTube. So don't take this as official financial advice, but this is going to help you get a step in the right direction. Anyways, from setting up a business, we're going to be getting into setting up your first website, doing all the call tracking things, getting Google My Business listings, then getting connected to an affiliate network if you want to go that route, or just go straight into getting the call tracking number, the Google My Business listings, and a whole host of all the other things that go into get a website and a Google My Business listing to show up on page one for the searches that you are targeting. So if you're brand new to this entire business model, essentially what we are doing is we're building online assets that we can either rent out for a fixed monthly rate to a business. We can sell the leads to a business. They pay per lead, 5, 10, 15 bucks per lead, wherever it might be, depending on the niche. It can vary tremendously. Or we just do a completely hands-off approach, and we will just route them to an affiliate network who then sells that call or that lead to a business that is a client of theirs, and then you get paid a commission for doing so. And with that said, we have a lot of work to do, so let's hop into my computer. But by the way, if you've not subscribed, be sure to go down below, smash the subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when all the newest content comes live. But all right, let's get into my computer. All right, welcome into my computer. So you'll notice right away I'm not on the screen. And just for time's sake with the editing, it's just so much easier to just do the intro how I did it and then hop in here to Camtasia to film the training portion. So real quick, I have a disclaimer for this video, and that's basically that this is not a push button PayPal shits out $16 a day or whatever nonsense that I'm seeing on all these gurus' channels who used to make a lot of content about Shopify or BitConnect, and now that nobody watches them or that drop shipping is now completely changed and it's a lot harder, they just switch to completely broad audiences where it's just push 6 buttons and your computer shits out money. That's not what this is. This is building a skill set that takes willingness to learn, takes work to implement, and it takes patience to see the results from it. But if you stick with it, the results can be amazing, especially because this is what I use to build the foundation for my digital marketing agency, which is called Landscape Marketing Pros. Basically, using these assets and the step-by-step guide with what we're going to be going across here in this video, I've been able to utilize these assets right here to get my first clients and to at least take me seriously and say, hey, I can build your website and I can get you leads. And that got me my first couple of clients for free. And then from there, I was able to get them results, get paid clients at a lower ticket rates. And then from there, got them great results. And now I've been able to be at a point where we're charging no less than $1,000 a month for our digital marketing service package. And that ranges anywhere between $1,000 to $2,500 per month. And because we routinely get 6- and 7-figure results for our clients, it becomes a very easy sale to make. And while I'm not going to go into specific with how much we're doing in terms of revenue right here, let's just put it this way, it's a hell of a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. So with that said, the first step that you need to do is create a business. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer, a certified public accountant, financial advisor, anything like that. So this isn't financial advice or anything like that. But what you're going to want to do is start a legitimate business. It's very easy to do. Don't go to LegalZoom. For whatever state that you're in, it might be different. It might be the Chamber of Commerce department. But for Minnesota, it is the Secretary of State's website. You just go here, you look up whatever name that you may want, just pick a name, and you see if the name's available. If it is available, then you just go file a new business. So my company's a corporation. I have it set up that way for a couple different reasons, but if you're just getting started, an LLC is going to work just fine, and the taxes will be a little bit easier with an LLC versus a corporation. So next thing you're going to need is an EIN. So again, do not go to LegalZoom. I'm sure I could totally put a LegalZoom affiliate link right below here and cash in a bunch, but it's not worth it. It's like $1,000, and these things are, the fee right here is 100-something bucks to get a business going. An EIN, which is an employer identification number, that is free from the IRS. Just go to their website, follow the protocol. Same thing with the tax ID in your state. You don't need to pay somebody to do this. Just go, be resourceful, and look these things up online. Again, if your time is worth more to have somebody else register the LLC and do all that sort of stuff, and you pay $500 or $1,000 or whatever the service, if you were to hire an accountant to do it, then you're probably not watching this video. So yeah, go do your stuff on your own. It's very easy. It just takes an hour or two, and then you're good to go. Now, the next step is to begin building your first asset. So what we're going to be doing is building a website. And this is a great example of a website that absolutely crushes it right here. And it's not even that great looking. This, in my opinion, looks really bad compared to the work that we do now, but it just works like crazy, and the leads it generates is absolutely nuts. So what you're going to want to do is find some niches that you have some sort of interest in, or if you don't have any interest in, just find one. They all work. They're all profitable. HVAC, plumbing, electrical are going to be the most competitive and the hardest to rank for. So if you're getting started with this, I would suggest something different. Window cleaning, siding, maybe roofing. Roofing can be tough too, but painting, remodeling, landscaping, decks. Just look up anything on HomeAdvisor for whatever services they can connect a consumer to, and find one in there that you have some interest in, because you're going to be writing a bit about this. And if you don't know anything about it, you can also hire someone to write the content that you're going to need to write. And so then the next thing you're going to want to do is go over to Google and get a Gmail account for this asset that you're going to be creating. So let's say we're going to do St. Louis Lawn Care. So you can go and try to see if St. Louis Lawn Care 1236 whatever at Gmail is available, and take that. You're going to be using this later for Google Analytics and setting up Google Search Console. And then once you get a Google My Business listing, there are going to be a couple of different ways you can go about it, but the ownership account on that listing is what you're going to be using with this particular Gmail account. Okay, now into the website portion. First thing that you're going to need is a domain name. So the structure of your domain, you want a single city focus site. So just like this one back over here, Champlain Lawn Landscaping Irrigation. Ridiculously long, but it works. So the city and the services for the niche that you're in. So St. Louis Remodeling, for example, I'm sure that's already taken, but just go out there and take a look and see what you can find. You can have dashes in there, but again, you're going to want to have the .com domain. If you want to go to Namecheap, you can certainly do that. Otherwise, lately I've been using SiteGround for my clients. I really like that because it's just very easy. It does cost a little bit more than the 11 bucks for Namecheap, but for me, it's just the time. It's a couple bucks a year. And that way I have all that stuff synced into one thing. If you wanted to be changing over name servers and that sort of stuff, you could use Namecheap. But so I use SiteGround for everything, for all my sites, my clients. And the one package that I would recommend getting into is the Grow Big. It's 97 bucks, I think, for the first year. And then it's like 30 bucks a month after that. So very, very affordable, especially that first year. I mean, that's nothing. That's less than 10 bucks a month. That's like 6 bucks a month, 7, something like that. So by the way, we're not going to be doing a full-on tutorial in this video of how to build a website. I've done lots of videos on it, but it would take me hours upon hours upon hours. If you are interested in learning how to build a website from scratch, I have a course and there's a link to it right down below. If you don't want a course, then just keep watching this free video and go and learn how to do it on your own. Now, I would suggest getting Elementor Pro for your website builder. There are other ones out there, like Divi is another good one. And that's really all the ones I can think of in terms of WordPress for local sites. But Elementor Pro, I think, is one of the best. There's so many different customizable things that you can do. I mean, the possibilities with these sites are absolutely endless. So install that, get Elementor Pro. It's going to be, I think, 50 bucks a month, or a year rather, for the single site. Just get the agency plan if you're planning on building a bunch of sites. It's very, very, very affordable when you consider the earning potential of 1,000 sites. Because if you have 1,000 websites, you have 1,000 clients, I mean, you're doing some good numbers. Next thing you're going to do is set up an SEO plugin. So that's going to be either Yoast SEO, which I've been using a lot lately. All-in-One is another one. Then security plugins, Classic Editor is another one. And then just get to work. Start building out the homepage, set up the contact page, set up all the menus, all that sort of good stuff. And also add in the service pages. So, for example, with a lawn care or landscaping site, you're going to have the homepage be about lawn care and landscaping. And then for other services that are offered in that niche, snow removal, tree services, mosquito control, irrigation services, you create an individual service page just like what you see right here for that. And it can be as simple as this, where you have just text and some images, headlines, that sort of stuff. The website does not have to look like it's going to be the most professionally designed thing ever in order to generate leads, because that's what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to win an award at a conference. We're trying to just get something that's going to work. So especially because of the fact that most of your traffic is probably going to be on mobile, so it doesn't even really matter that much for the most part if it's just your own lead gen properties that you're using to get data, to get clients, or to just do this and rent out the website to a client. Go through all that, have as much content as you can create onto there, but then also have a contact form on your contact page, because if you're working with an affiliate network that is allowing you to monetize these, then go with that. Otherwise, if you're going to be doing this with getting clients, there'll be some things we'll cover later on with how you can use some of the form submissions that come in and get a client utilizing that. So the next thing you want to do once you have a website in existence, if you're going to go the route of working with an affiliate network, which I would highly suggest doing, because that way you at least have some income coming in from these sites if you do not have a client yet. What you'll do is apply to, I would suggest LeadSmart. That's going to be the best one to work with. There are other ones out there, but I have a link below to LeadSmart if you want to check them out. And you'll talk with them and they will give you kind of the rundown on how this stuff all works. If you get approved by LeadSmart, they will provide you a phone number. It's going to be like an 888 type of number that you will route calls to. Once you get that phone number, you then can go get a local call tracking number from Twilio is what I've been using lately. I've also used SignalWire, but I don't like that there's no analytics tracking on it, at least not at this point in time. So I've switched over a lot of stuff to Twilio. It's just a lot easier. And then set up a bin within the software for Twilio to route the call to that LeadSmart affiliate number, or this would eventually be your client's phone number, whether that's their cell phone, their office, or whatever. And so that way you don't have to be switching out numbers from your website or switching out from the Google My Business listing and worried about potentially having the listing get flagged or anything like that. So that way this number just stays permanent basically forever. You just switch out within the software where the call is going to get routed to. So the next step is to claim a Google My Business listing. Now the reason being is that these listings, which is a listing on Google Maps for a business, the reason that they're so valuable is because they produce a lot of leverage in terms of more traffic from the search results, because you have clickable to the website right here at the very top above everything on the websites. And if there were ads running, which there are not at this point in time because it's December and it's Minnesota, there's no landscaping really going on, there would be ads and then there would be this listing right here. And from mobile, someone can call right from the search result without even having to go to the website if they don't want to. If they see a good enough star rating, they just click right to and make a call. How you can go about doing this is you can claim this utilizing an address that you can get mailed to, because what happens is you go through the process, you set it up, you name it, which you're going to want to name with just the city and the service, and set up the phone number and the website address because you have all that done already. Put that on there. They're going to send out a postcard. It's going to have a verification pin, I believe 5 digits or 6 digits. And you enter that in and then boom, it's verified. That is one option that you can go to get the listing, utilizing an address that you have. Otherwise, you can go to vendors, and we have a list of recommended vendors down beneath this video that you can pay for someone else to go and fulfill that service and get the listing for you. It's going to be about $150 or so, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But then you have this right here, and it's definitely worth the investment to have the ability to produce, I would estimate at least probably 60% more leads because you have a listing, as long as it's ranking in order compared to just having the website. So it's very, very, very valuable. So then what you want to do is that Gmail account from the beginning, you will want to utilize that and have that be the owner of that listing. So if you're going the route of your own method to get it and verifying it yourself, then you just sign in using that particular email account. Now, if you are going the route of having a vendor do this, they will likely ask you for a Gmail account to add to the listing, and then you can go in there, set yourself as an owner, and remove that account that they use to get the listing, and then you're set to go. So then what you'll want to do is set up Google Analytics on the website. You can use a plugin like Lara Analytics, or there's a whole host of other ones out there. And then from there, just continue building out other content. If you want to build out more service pages, you can. I have tried that MVP method in the past. It works, but if you want to just have it on there, that works fine too. But again, as far as the visual aspects of the website, it doesn't need to be anything crazy complicated. You can see this right here. I mean, I've done this multiple hundreds of times at this point with building out different sites, and this is so easy to make. It with the software, if you have a little bit of understanding on how Elementor works, this is just embarrassingly easy. So just make sure you have calls to action, images, clickable text links, because what's going to happen is when you have the click to call button in there, Google sometimes will reward you a little bit and they'll help you out. They'll have the clickable phone number right there in the mobile search result right below the website. Next thing you want to have is privacy policy, terms of service pages, the do not sell my info, that sort of stuff. Make sure that's all down there in the footer. Also the disclaimers, you're going to need some of that as well in order to make sure that you're kind of covered, so that way you understand that, or that way a visitor understands that the website is a referral service, because that's essentially what this is. And so again, I want to stress right here, this is a grind and a half to do this the right way. You need to work efficiently. You need to remove your distractions, delete the social apps on your phone, quit wasting time on them, and just get to work. But this is something that should not take more than about 2 hours worth of work. And let's just say 4 or 5 if you're just getting started. if you sit down and focus and you remove the distractions, you turn off all your social media apps, you delete them from your phone, in fact, and you just have one browser tab open for the stuff that you're working on, this is easily a 2-hour thing, with the exception of the Lead Smart approval. That might take a couple days, but these are things that you can do very, very, very quickly. Sometimes the Google postcard takes a little longer to get in the mail. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for them to verify and publish the listing, but the things that you can control, you can do in a very short amount of time if you just sit down and focus. I can't stress that enough. So the next thing that you want to do is submit the site to Google Search Console. So Search Console is going to allow you to kind of just track the inbound links coming to your site, to be able to assess that Google is able to recognize those links, so you can see what your rankings are doing when you are doing some backlinks, which we'll get into here in just a second. But also you can see how people are finding your website and how they're clicking on it as well. So what you're going to do is go over to site and then your website.com and click try Google Search Console, and it'll prompt you to get started. Make sure you're logged into that Gmail account that you have set up for Google Analytics. And then it will probably use Google Analytics to verify your site. And then once you're into Search Console, you're good to go. From there, it takes a couple days to get some data, and then within usually like a week, you'll see some of your numbers, your inbound links, and all that sort of good stuff. So now the next step is to start doing work with the SEO process. So this is going to be off-page links. These are going to be links pointing to your website, because what they're doing is when there are more high-quality links pointing to your website compared to the competition, Google is going to see that, okay, look at all these websites saying that this website is the best source of information for this particular topic. So in this instance, lawn care champion, for example. So what that means is that that's going to allow Google to have their users find your website easier, which means higher up in the search result. Same thing with the Google My Business listing. And this begins with having a lot of citations. So I start out with Yext citations. So there's going to be sites like Yelp, Manta, Superpages, City Search, and so forth. Whole bunch of other ones out there. Get them built. Just get a vendor to do it. It's so ridiculously cheap to have them do it. We're talking like 10 to 15 bucks. And then a good social signals gig. I have recommended services for all these ones that I'm mentioning here, linked right down below, where you can get access to that. It's 100% free to get the list of those vendors. But this is going to basically have another signal with social signals that's going to basically communicate to Google that, okay, social media is freaking out about this website, so we got to make sure our users can find it again. So same thing with the backlink, same strategy right here. And then we get into, from beyond just the basic citations, you're going to want to get into PBN. So these are private blog networks. Basically, these are high authority websites. They're going to pass link juice, and just think of it as like energy being transferred from their website to yours, which increases the authority of your website. And so this transfers back into the whole theory and strategy of the popularity increasing of your website. So Google is going to reward it, sending it to the top of the search results. Same exact principle here. So I would highly suggest going to Legit. Again, they're all in that list of vendors right down below. You can get access to it. It's 100% free to get the list. You can purchase those links from a vendor, very affordable again, especially when you compare it to the volume of revenue you can make with renting the website out to a local business. So one thing I want to note, and this is something I've never really said here on the channel, but what you want to be doing is the highest powered PBN site links that you're getting, have them be those main keywords. So the service in your city. So remodeling St. Louis, or remodeling contractor St. Louis in Missouri, something like that. Embed your Google My Business listing onto all of the articles that you have with PBN. So make sure to include either the link to your Google My Business listing, or ask the vendor, whoever you are choosing, if they can embed it onto your listing. So now after a few months of doing PBNs consistently, now you don't want to be doing these every single day. What I would suggest doing is maybe 5 or 6 or 7 the first month. And so this would be about a month after doing citations. So the website's going to be in existence for about 2 months at this point. What you're going to want to be doing is going and building these links consistently and getting a little more aggressive with it until you get the desired rankings. Then from there, what you want to be doing is kind of looking at your stats and see what's going on. Generally at this point, you're going to see leads coming in, you're going to see calls coming in. But if you see that you have really bad conversion rate or a lot of bounce rates and that sort of stuff, then you want to optimize yourself a little bit. So this is going to be especially true for those who can't really speak English. So if you're outside the US and you're not very good at writing, or you're just not good at design, this is something that you're going to really have to look into. But otherwise, if a website looks good enough, it's pretty much a winner no matter what if you're ranking. So when you have the leads coming in at this point, what you want to be doing is finding a business that's either going to lease the website and pay you a monthly rate, $500 or $1,000 bucks, depending on the niche. Is a very easy, doable rate. For certain niches like plumbing or HVAC, if you're ranking for a big city, it can be a heck of a lot more than that even. Otherwise, you can charge them per lead that comes in, per qualified lead. So this would be like a phone call that's 45 seconds long or longer, or however you want to work that out. So to find these businesses, start on page 2 of Google for whatever search it is in the city that you're targeting, and cold call and cold email. That's going to be the easiest way to do the outreach. You have to remember that you have the value that they want, which is calls and leads coming in. Come from a place of value. Don't try to pitch them SEO or any of this, because they get this stuff non-stop. You need to be a little bit unique with this. Create a website for an agency. Even if you don't have any intentions of working as an agency, create one as if you do and say, hey, my agency does this, but rather than paying us a monthly rate for us to do all the work for you, we already have a property that's ranking in this search result for this city. Do you want these leads? And be a real person when it comes to discussing this with them. Don't be a mystery internet money man. Just be a guy that says, hey, I have this web asset. Please give me a call. Let's talk about it if you're interested in this, and give them your phone number. It's really that simple. With this business model, this isn't like Shopify where it's just like some mystical website that you're buying from. You're talking with real people. They're a real business owner that works with people all the time, every single day within their business, and they have staff that work with real people at their houses. This isn't just like a full-on digital business. So the more personable that you can be, the easier it's going to be to sell and get a client on board to either pay you a monthly rate for the website rental or pay for each one of these leads. Another method that you can do is a little bit sneakier, and that's when you have contact form submissions coming in. I know some people will do this with phone calls. I don't like doing that. I would just do this with these form leads. And what you can do is, if you use Cognito Forms or whichever software you want to use for your sites, what you can do is in the dashboard of Cognito is create an email notification that's going to be sent out when a submission comes in. So what happens is then you can get an email that has all the form data, the name, the address, the phone number, email with service description for the request for what they want. That's going to get sent directly to your email if you set that up within the software. It's very easy to do that. Then what you can do is, when you find the email address for the business owners, some companies will not have their emails shown on their website, others do. But what you can do is send them an email, or forward that to them rather, and then just have a couple sentences that say, hey, this is a lead that came through my website. Here's the link to the website. It's ranking for this search, and this search. Would you be interested in working together to rent out our website for X amount per month, or for X amount per lead for each qualified lead that we generate? Please give me a call and put your phone number there, and then have a conversation with them. That way they're going to understand exactly what this is. And it turns into you being a real person that has something of value that they would be interested in. Now, not every single business wants to have more leads. Some are very happy with where they're at, but there are companies out there that definitely want more leads. So this is something you should absolutely try out. Leave a comment down below if you are able to be successful utilizing this method right here, or even just the cold call and cold email. So next up is to manage your rankings, and basically just keeping the top of the first page present. So if you have a lot of competition, you might have to be continually building links. If there's not a lot of competition, you might be able to get away with kind of just leaving it be. Maybe you link here and there once a month, once every other month, or whatever it is. But as long as the PBNs stay alive and the links are still coming into the site, you have the authority built into the website right there. So continue doing this, and from there, you just steps 2 through 8, just rinse and repeat as much as you possibly can. If you have to purchase a lot of the content writing or the GMB verification service or the PBNs and all that sort of stuff, then just do as much as you can afford. But if you want to make it really work with this, and it's what you really want to focus on, is just have to rinse and repeat in more cities in the same niche, or in different niches, or whatever you want to do. There's a whole combination of it. Is all the cities across the entire country that are 5 to 10,000 population on the low end, upwards to 100,000 population cities. And there are so many niches out there. You're talking at least 150, 200. So there's a lot of potential for this business model to work. And if you want to do like what I did with just using this data that you use with these sites in order to get clients to build an agency, then you can do that as well. So that's it. That's the gist of it right here. It's pretty dang simple. You just find a niche, build a website, get a GMB listing, build some links, and be patient, and it's as simple as that. So the final words of advice that I have for you in this video is that you just need to start. I don't want to make motivational videos, but you just have to go and do something and get off your ass. Stop watching Netflix for endless hours a day, or if you want to watch it, at least spend a couple hours of your day doing this outside of what your regular work is. And then just do this. I mean, I've outlaid a great plan right here. I obviously didn't go full on in depth how to build a website, how to write content, all that sort of stuff, and how to do all the linking, but you got a gist of how to make this stuff happen. So just start. There's a lot of other videos on my channel that are 100% free. If you want the course, you can go and check it out. But just start building the websites. If you got to save up some money at your job, whatever you're doing, stash away the $1,000 or whatever you want to do to be able to purchase the website, the Google My Business listings, the links, all that sort of good stuff. And then just stay consistent with it, which is one of the things I see people don't do. They come in, they get excited, and then they kind of fall off. And I guess it's just human nature. But for you, if you're watching this at the end of this video, I trust that you're probably into this. So get started now and stay consistent with this, and you're going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So hopefully this was informative to you. If you like this video, be sure to go down below, drop a like on this video. If you're not already subscribed, smash the subscribe button. And if you have questions on anything I've covered in this video, be sure to leave a comment down below. And with that said, I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be.